What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Interstellar Perspective, and I just had to come check in with y'all. You know, I've done a couple of daily videos, so if you haven't seen my videos from the past couple of days, go check them out. I'm trying to stay current with the news and, what's trending and, what's going on. So right now we about to talk about Sexxy Redd sex tape. Big Sexy. What y'all think about Sexxy Redd, man? I think I hear a lot of people saying that she's an industry plant. Let me get this. I hear a lot of people saying she an industry plant. I hear some people saying like, oh, they just put her in place to tear down, like the black woman. But shit, they've been doing that for about, let me think, how many years of hip hop? 50. They've been doing that shit for at least 30 years. So I don't think. I mean, I know they're gonna keep throwing people in the mix to further push the agenda, but I honestly think that people just like this girl. And the thing is, it's not so much that they like her. People just want to live vicariously through someone else's life. A lot of people can't be as free as a Sexxy Redd or a Sukiana. They can't say what they want to say, but they be thinking it. They wouldn't necessarily ever say it, but it's fun, or it can be fun or funny to watch somebody else doing something that, you thought of doing, or you might have wouldn't done if not, dot, dot, dot. You get what I'm saying? However, sex tape just came out with her. And this not the first thing. Like, it seemed like, well, all these, first of all, y'all be recording while y'all be hunching. Like, I don't know. Maybe because I'm 30 now. I don't see what the hype is about. Like, and if it is going to be a production, it's going to be just that, a production. We going to have a tripod set up. We going to have the silk sheets. We going to do the whole 9 yards. Ain't no just pulling out your camera and hitting the flashlight. Like, no, sir. And this isn't her first incident. Like a guy just about a week ago had recorded her while after they had sex and she had fell asleep, and people was just really getting around to exposing her. So, but this is the thing though, like, I don't really feel like it hurts her brand that much, because it pretty much is her brand. Any bitch who come out here and say I'm the fucking raw dog queen, that bitch don't give a fuck about y'all seeing her fucking. Or who will come out and say who will sell some lip gloss called gonorrhea or nut. Like, no, she don't give a fuck about what y'all think. She stopped caring what people think a long time ago. She stopped caring what people thought about her when she was on her way to middle school. Not even in middle school yet. And that's just what it is. Like, that shit, like, it's so embedded into her. You could tell that it's been a lifetime of trauma, a lifetime of abandonment, a lifetime of I don't want to say like sexual deviancy, but maybe like some kind of misuse. You get what I'm saying? Like, and with Suki too. Like, you see all her videos coming out. Even Christian Rock got videos leaking. And I don't know if these girls is leaking them themselves or people just call themselves exposing them, because I haven't seen one good video yet. And I didn't even watch the Sexxy Redd video. The clip I saw, it had like the emoji covering whatever. But I can only imagine, right? Like, all I got to do is fill in the blank, and I pretty much know what it was. But y'all know, over here in the Stellar Perspective, we try to get into like what's really going on, like the spiritual, the interstellar perspective, or the spiritual perspective about what's going on, what we can take from it, what we can learn from it, and what we can pass on. And what's this showing to me in light of the 50 years of, the 50 years of hip hop being this year, and the BET Hip Hop Awards that nobody heard about being yesterday. And I guess that's because they didn't air it yet. So once they air it, I'm sure people will talk about it. But I just heard people talking about, oh, the BET Hip Hop Awards. I'm like, was it? Like, oh. Maybe they've been running commercials. I don't watch TV, so I don't know. But it just seemed like hip hop has had a devastating fall from grace, and shit, the fall probably started about what, not even 25 years ago. Shit, maybe about 30 years ago when hip hop really started getting off course. And Red Pill was on Black Magic 363 the other day. He made a really interesting statement. He was basically saying the fall of hip hop started when the gangbangers, or not the gangsters, because it was gangsters who rap, but he said once the gangbangers started rapping, like that's when the fall of hip hop began. And it's like, what the negative energy before they brought that negative energy to hip hop was a very uplifting thing. It was a very high frequency thing. Like, think about who was in hip hop. You had Public Enemy, Queen Latifah. Like, you had groups like that. People who were actually trying to give some knowledge or whatever. You did have Salt and Pepper come along, eventually, but still, like, it wasn't too over the top, like how it is today. It seemed like today we in like that wretched celebrity era, and it's all about who can out ratchet who the most. And like 2 summers ago, bitches was just on them headlights, what they say, at the red light, twerking on them headlights. And now bitches is showing they pussy pink and they booty hole is brown, and they willing to show you. Not only that, they willing to put some shit on their lips that's called gonorrhea. Like, what type of spiritual warfare is this? Like, this demon of sexual transmitted diseases. Like, I mean, it don't get no worse than this. But do it, because that's what it's coming to. It's going to be like, okay, well, Sexxy Redd did that. We're going to have another gimmick. It's going to probably be like a female version of a Lil Nas X. And it's like, well, what can she do? Lil Nas X then already came out, twerked on the devil, got naked, put blood in shoes. And then you got Sexxy Redd doing all of this. Like, how, and I hate to say it, because when we ask questions, we get answers. But how much worse can it get? What can come after that? Like, it seemed like that's the only way for these people to get attention now. It's no longer about the artist. It's no longer about the music. It's no longer about the art. It's no longer about the soul. There used to be soul in music. You used to be able to hear people's pain, their joy, their trauma. They would be able to make you feel what they feel. These days, like, it's not so much about what they saying. It's more so about, you hear the music, you go along with the vibe, and they might throw some catchy shit in there. Like, is people really rapping Sexxy Redd from start to finish, or is they just every other word ski, or whatever it is? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not the music these days. It's not as captivating as it once was. But it's definitely a disconnect with music. Everybody just so busy clout chasing that they not putting their heart into it no more. Like, or maybe it's the money. Maybe people making too much money from music for it to be good. Sometimes when people get too much money, the quality of things, when you would think that they would go up, they would go down. And then, it's the talk of the industry plants. Like, people say Sexxy Redd, the industry plant. I heard something interesting. I know Kanye just said Cardi B was the industry plant. We did a video on that. But somebody has said Nicki Minaj was the industry plant to replace Lil Kim. And I'm going to tell you why I disagree with that. Now, could Nicki have gotten a certain push? Yeah. Because at that time, it wasn't really no females dominating the game. It was definitely females in the game. And it was females dominating before her. But it wasn't really no female stars who was like leading the game like the men would. Like the men was, or whatever. So when she came on the scene, She looked nice. She could actually rap. Don't forget about that. She could actually make good music that sold. And she had a marketable personality at the time. Because people don't, they be feeling different ways about her now. But at the time, she definitely had a more marketable personality. So, no, I don't think she was a plant. And not to mention that her and Lil Kim came at completely different times in the game. Like, yeah, Lil Kim could have still been dropping music, but when nobody checking for Lil Kim, and when did Nicki come out, in like 2009 or in the mid 2000s? Come on now. Kim, who came out in like the 90s, like that whole era, like she still had her clout, but that whole era was done. Like the only person who was still making music was probably Diddy or Brother Love, you know. Cause he running around here like a chicken with his head cut off, not trying not to go to prison, allegedly. But yeah, so now I do think there are plants, like some people say Ice Spice is a plant. Like, okay, now I did say I think Ice Spice is a plant, but like I'm kind of like conflicted because I do think she a plant. You know, she tied to Lucian Grange. It's her label. It's her label. Regardless of how great or how not great Ice Spice's lyricism is, or if you like her music or not, her label, the label she with, the label that you probably never heard of, that boy Riot, like they are well connected. And you know, sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. Sometimes it's not about how good you can rap, it's who you got ties to. So I kind of look at her a little different. Like I look at her as kind of having a hookup. I don't look at her as like, I can't say that though, because like with Cardi B, I would have to be fair and say the same thing about Cardi B, and I definitely feel like Cardi B was a plant. But Ice Spice, like I feel like she caught a little attention on social media or TikTok or whatever it may be. Maybe she started rapping and she had a friendship or a relationship with the guy Riot. They went to school together, and his dad is like on a radio station or something. Like I think it just happened that way, you know. But I don't think she was sought out. I think she was just in the right place with the right people. So, but are the plants deliberately destroying hip hop? Yes. And I'm not gonna say Ice Spice all on her own, even though she's not the greatest lyricist. And it's like, well, why is she a rapper if she don't actually rap, you know? But these days, personality and all of that stuff is selling more than the actual music. Like if you can get people interested in you and who you are and still kind of have a little bit of mysteriousness to you, then you probably gonna get more attention. Like let's look at, well, not, she kind of on a decline, her on a downward spiral herself, but with Krishan Rock, her music sucks. And I don't think nobody's buying it either, but people still tune in for her life, whether they feel like she's relatable or she a psychopath. You know, they invested into her life and her situation. And that's what the industry is becoming. The industry is just becoming a big reality TV show. And I hate to say it. That's why, and I feel like another reason why they running hip hop into the ground is because they done with it. That's why you have all these different narratives about hip hop coming out, and they're trying to like really cloud the space and confuse the information, because like really they're done with it. They ready to gentrify it, and you know, so take that shit from us and do something else with it, just like they did with rock and roll, jazz, and everything else. They running it down to the ground slowly so they can get it out the way and replace it, or just completely consume it. You know, kind of like they do real estate in the hood. Did they say, you know, they could have just been like, you know, 50 years is enough of that shit. And honestly, I can't even, if that was the case, I couldn't even say that was a bad thing, because the state of hip hop right now is really sad. Like, Sexxy Redd is like one of the most popular female rap artists. None of the men is making noise except for Drake. I know he drops them around, but and that's crazy to say in today's world in 2023 that Sexxy Redd is probably one of the most popular rappers today. And that's no shade to her. I'm just saying, I know it's plenty of people who sitting down, who got notebooks full of words, and who writing, who practicing their cadence and listening to beats all day and locking themselves away in the studio, who will probably never get a chance. Who probably actually respect the culture and want to uplift it, who will probably never get that chance. And that's really, really sad to say. It's like the integrity of hip hop is just on the floor somewhere with Sukihana at the goddamn VMAs. Like, what type of stuff is that? Like, is it all about how embarrassing you can be? How, like, people just running around trying to be a caricature of a black person? Has it come to the point where the black people are wearing the black face and now we are the minstrels? Now we doing our own minstrels of ourselves? Like, now we, like, it's crazy. But it didn't start like this. But yes, hip hop is definitely on a decline. Today's price is definitely not yesterday's price. Hip hop had a lot more value in it back in the day, more spirit, more soul. And that's why the plot to destroy it began. Can it be saved? Of course. Will it be? Probably not. It would probably be like an underground thing. But honestly, I'm hoping something new. It's time for us to create a new genre or do something new, like, I'm not saying give hip hop completely up or away because they just waiting to get their hands on it and give it to the goddamn Puerto Ricans and everybody else. But I'm just saying, like, we could still gatekeep hip hop and, but we should probably start working on some other artistic form of expression, whether it be through music or, art or anything. But that's just my thoughts on the Sexxy Redd situation. Because, I mean, insert ratchet female rapper name here. It don't matter if we talking about Sexxy Redd. It don't matter if we talk about Sukihana. It don't matter if we talking about Glorilla, even though I don't think she's that bad. But you know what? Glorilla has been putting a lot of effort into trying to be, like, more hoish. To be plain, like, what was her song? She got a song, Lick or something, and all she wasn't even rapping like that at first, and I was like, oh, I fuck him and I fuck him. Like, she's trying. It's just sad to see them going out like this, y'all. And the worst part about it is the only one that's working for is Sexxy Redd. It's not working for nobody else. But all right, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, add to the conversation, make a video, tag me. Let's talk about it. Like, what's your perspective on this and where hip hop is going in the next 50 years? Will there be a hip hop? And I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all later.